This is Mrs. O'Neill for AP Chemistry, Chapter 24, your review questions and problems. So you're going to go through this video by pausing when you see the question, then you're going to either mentally or physically write the answers on paper. Sometimes there are multiple parts at a time. Then you're going to play the video to see the answer. So it's basically question, answer, question, answer. So you're going to do a lot of pausing, playing, okay, with hopefully coming up with an answer in between. I want to also tell you that some of these questions, maybe not in this chapter because this is our first chapter, but when we go to chapters 1, 2, 3, and beyond, these questions are going to be above and beyond what you're going to see the test in class, those kinds of questions, but they will help you on the AP exam because I'm going to try to include FRQs in these reviews, and those types of FRQs for the AP exam is cumulative. So some of these questions, again, maybe not for this particular chapter, but when you're going to see them later on, they're going to be cumulative. In other words, you're going to have to know the information from chapter 1 in order to answer the review question in chapter 4, let's say. So just keep that in mind. So here's your first question. So pause, come up with an answer, again, either mentally or physically writing it down, and then play the video to see the answer. So hopefully you paused and you got these as an answer. Again, you're not going to need to know how to draw the rings per se, but again, I want to give you a visual as to what you might possibly be seeing on the AP exam. So even though the AP exam says, hey, there's no organic involved, I have seen quite often that there are organic molecules that they show you and you have to answer questions too. Number 2, so again, pause. There are multiple parts in this case. Hopefully you paused mentally or physically, wrote down an answer to A and B. So you should have gotten this for A. Again, pause and check your answers. You could have also gotten those as an answer as well. So remember that you have those attachments. So these are isomers because they have the same chemical formula, but the structure is different. And to know the difference here is, again, I always go by the names, right? If I can name that structure differently from one another, then I know that I have an isomer. And remember, even your straight chain, you're the very, very first one, the straight chain, is considered one of the isomers. Here's your answer to B. Again, pause and check your work. Didn't show you all the H's because that gets a little cumbersome, but those are all there. Number 3, again, pause, read, come up with an answer. And this is one of those that in the future we're going to be able to understand a little bit more in detail what's going on with boiling points of different structures. So I kind of gave you a preview of kind of that question that's going to be that above and beyond in the on the class test, but may appear on your AP exam. So here's your answer to the first half. So again, pause. Again, I like to give you as much visualization as I can as well. So not only are you looking at your answer, but you should also be focusing on the pictures that I'm showing you, because the more visuals you get, the more understanding things are. Here's to the second half. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And again, we talked about the structures and how they draw them. Remember that these lines are just like flat, but the dashed lines would be in the, I think, like towards you or in back of you. And again, the triangle, same thing, either towards you or back of you. This is just showing you that 3D model. Number 4, again, pause, take your time, and see if you can come up with an answer. This one was a little bit of math involved. Basically, your empirical formula is this. And again, I'm giving you those structures just for something to look at, just so you're understanding and aware. And here's the solution. So again, I gave you the answer, but here are the solutions as far as what numbers you should have used. And again, it's coming up with the empirical formula of that substance. And there we go. There's another ketone compound empirical formula solution. Pause. And so now you can check your numbers and make sure they make sense. All right, see you test day.